Welcome back to Indian Trace. I have been in need of doing a weekend review uh, documentary. I always document, photograph, and then categorize things. Uh, and I've been in need of doing that for the last couple of weeks. This is what I have decided I'm going to, at least for this moment, keep as my display quality pieces from this last week, if you will, last 2 weeks. Unbelievable stuff. And it's been real good. But all my sites as we go around here, and I have a story that goes with this, which is going to be really cool. But I just want to show you these things. Of course, let me get close to this triangle if I can, and stop messing around with all this focus, and share this story. I didn't find anything today. There's many times I'll go out. You guys say, "Man, you find so much, so much." No, there's many times I go out and I find nothing. For example, this triangle is all I found yesterday. But there's many times I go out and I find quite a bit of really great stuff. So I'm fortunate. With that said, I'll make a photograph of a layout, and then I'll put it in my documentation for the week. And so as the years go by, I'll have a really good file for those who come after me, my sons and what have you, if they're ever curious about it. Just give you a look at these pieces. Trying to do it wet today. I haven't really ever done it wet to do the cleanup on them. That's an interesting piece. So I'm going to try to do it today. I have so many sites that will be completely ready when this storm and everything comes through, and it's just going to be bizarre. So I had to go ahead and get these out of the way because I do know my sites that are ready. Here's a really great piece that came in recently, a couple days ago or so, over at the Vulture. This is probably the oldest young find, I guess about a week ago or week and a half ago at the jump off. Just a great looking point. Now here's a story. If I'm not boring you enough already going through these, I'm just going to pick through them as I go and tell you this story. I had somebody on YouTube, look at that piece, will you? Just share with me that really liked the channel, and I really appreciate that. My shout out to everybody who makes comments and checks out these artifacts. But I was so shocked because he said, I really love your channel and believe in it. He said, but I have a bunch of friends who think that I plant artifacts or even nap these out. I mean, look at this piece. What on earth, right? I can't make this stuff. I'm not even going to try to nap. But he said his buddies think that I nap and that I plant points out there, wait for it to rain, mark them, and then go out and film them. I mean, how stupid can you get? I mean, how crazy a theory. I don't have the time or the energy to even think about that. I was like, I almost laughed. That is so bizarre to me. Because if anybody has tuned in to Indian Trace for a while, look at this piece. Everything you see is unique. Nothing, in a sense, is a repetition of the other. The creativity is inexhaustible to me. I mean, just look at these pieces. There is nothing that resembles any modern napper. I mean, really, just the way it is. And some of you guys out there that nap, I know are laughing and going, oh my God, yeah, right. No, really. He said that there was a bunch of his friends that think that I plant the points. I think the way he put it is I plant the points out in the field, mark them, and wait for it to rain, and then I go get them. Where would I get them in the first place? I just never even, look at these points, right? I never even comprehended that. I never even imagined doing such a thing. It's beyond me. I'm just doing my best to move forward and collect and find what I can, and then I show it from the beginning to the end. And that for me has only really been on YouTube 2.5, maybe 3 years, something like that. And just doing my best to show what I find, and that's as far as my thoughts go. And I don't even make it real fancy, and I don't do a lot of editing, and just make some really straightforward videos that give a good show of some artifacts. So my shout out to the dude who actually shared that with me. I told him to have those guys who actually think that tune in to Indian Trace. Look at this prize, and just do a search of my heritage series, which is about 21 videos that shows my collection, and they'll see real quick that the fiber of the collection is unique in the sense that everything, I mean, look at these pieces, speaks clearly for personality in itself. That's what I love. There is a personality in itself in all of these pieces. It's clear, and there's huge amounts of dispensational time in the design of these points. It's just wild. If I can get a good exposure with this with the light. So I mean, isn't that funny? I mean, all of you, many of you have been watching Indian Trace for a while, and I really appreciate it. But can you imagine somebody thinking that these artifacts on Indian Trace are not real? It just blows my mind. I actually, and on that note, I will say this: if there are frauds who do that on YouTube, I don't know. I mean, they might. I have suspected one channel once and made some comments to a couple buddies out there, you know, Butch and Rob, even Ken and Flintsball, to check it out and give me their opinion. But it's so rare. For the most part, if you're watching other guys' channels, you're seeing plain as day, clear as day, the real deal. And it's the best we can do to get out there, find what we can find out of this stuff, save what we can save, and then move forward. I mean, we don't even have enough time to mess around with. Plus, the audience of YouTube, I love the fact that people enjoy these artifacts as I skate around here and try to give you different perspectives. And the funny thing is I've never gone on here to try to impress. Never. That's a great shot, isn't it? Look at that. And therefore, I could care less to find or make or buy a nice point, go put it in the dirt somewhere, wait for it to rain, and then make a video just to try to show it off. I mean, how stupid is that? I don't even think anybody does that. It just locked my brain up to hear that. Have you ever heard something like that? I mean, tell me if you've ever heard of guys doing that or what have you. I probably wouldn't put it past somebody, but it's a sad life when you're looking to impress people that way. So, I think we've seen enough of these. I fellowshiped with them today and shared that story. This guy's just a crazy, crazy find. Probably my favorite find of the week, of course. It's just, well, I don't know. Could be that purple guy right above him. Could be this purple guy. Or it could be this guy. Along with this little guy right here. Funny, right? Anyway, all field finds. I don't have a chance and opportunity to hunt the creeks. So I'm blown away when I see you guys out there in the creeks and finding stuff. It's just beyond me. This piece here, just so you know, in discussion sense, some people made a shout out about it, is heavy, is smooth as can be here. Smooth as can be right across there. Guess that means it could be very well archaic, but look at the serrations on this thing. Right? But the thing is, as I shared on the original video, to give you another look at it, it is not beveled. Not at all. So, I guess that completes it, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you for tuning in to Indian Trace and hearing the story. Let me know if you've heard about anybody doing that. To me, it's just silly. Funny stuff. Only found, as you can see, here's the right proportion though, everybody, with this layout. The 2-3 pieces of quartz here, that's usually the proportion to finding the quartz out there. But all in all, I hope you go out and do your best to seek and save. And I hope you find some great stuff out there. And all in all, that right there, wow, that's Indian Trace. Wonder if I can get those 4 in. I like those 4. Hope you find out there.